Welcome back to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasWholeNetRadio.com, the final frontier of free speech where we can say and do talk about whatever the fuck we want, including baby announcements.
So we're back to that. So anyway, so that's how she calls me back while I'm driving, while I'm pregnant. How far along are you? 16 and a half weeks.
What the fuck?
Well, of course, it's too late to do anything in case I would
not in Nevada.
Discuss that. Well, on to the next subject, because then she says, well, it gave me all the reasons why they waited so long to tell me. You know, remember she had that little cancer scare a few years ago, and her cervix was thinned because of that, and they did, you know, supposedly didn't know, you know. So, you know, like I said, you know, I love the babies. I'm going to love this one, and it's a girl. And I said, look, you got a boy and a girl. Get the shit snipped while you're in there, okay?
Yep.
Because this is enough of this. But, you know, they're not in any financial situation that they should be having any babies. It's,
no, they're
it's not wise.
There's only one of them working, right?
Well, you know, they're both doing what they're doing now, you know? So, I don't know. It's just not wise. But you know what? Here's what I know. And I'm kind of hard-headed, and so it took me a while to get there. I know this, that I am not the rescuer anymore, will not be, and she knows this. Because if I keep doing all the problem solving, then she'll never learn to problem solve herself. So,
right.
You know, so I'm not in the middle of it anymore.
So we were discussing cases for her phone, and there's a particular company I like. So this is how much their Naked Tough case for your phone is. And that's directly from their website.
Oh, that's very reasonable.
Yeah, and it's the same.
Than the other ones I've seen.
Yeah, it's the same as this one. And I've, just like my previous casemate, Tough Case, I have dropped this out of a moving vehicle, down the stairs, across the room, on tile, on carpet, no problems.
Okay, nice. And that's what I need to do.
How much are they?
$35 for the iPhone 6 Plus. You can get their Brilliance case, which is $80 because it's got diamond dust in it. You don't need all that.
No.
Fuck that noise.
Don't need diamond dust.
Okay?
Right.
Took me forever just to get the fucking phone.
I got diamond dust in my cleavage. I'm good.
Yeah, they're pretty reasonably priced. If you don't want to get the naked, which is what this is, the clear acrylic, they have a regular black one.
That's a clear one. So your phone is that color?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but I needed to. I wanted to talk about this earlier. I don't mean to get you guys off topic about your phone cases, but you guys know about Anonymous, right? The group Anonymous. It's the political. They're not really political, but they're a group that like exposes.
They're hacktivists, right?
Yes, hacktivists.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, explain to me this
so
I can learn.
A hacktivist is an activist who is also a techie hacker.
Yes, they're hackers, and they do a lot of exposing of people, and they're
mostly on the net.
Yes, all on the net.
All on the net. Okay.
Yeah. So, they have gone up against the KKK, and I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
And they yesterday they released a video on the KKK, which a lot of people don't even realize that the KKK is still a thing. But they're very
down south.
Yeah.
It's real.
They're very alive and
you don't even
well.
have to go down south.
Go to Sue's grandparents'
Go
house.
to my grandparents' house.
and so yesterday they released a video, and they released a bunch of people's like social media, like their names and their like Facebook pages and
these are
like
people
profiles.
who belong to the KKK.
Yeah, people in the KKK, because they hacked their KKK social network site.
KKK has a social network site?
And they have a Twitter account as well that got that was taken control of today a few hours ago. Well, probably about 6 hours ago.
Yeah. Why did it take them so long for somebody to take possession of it?
Well, the Anonymous sent out the video, and essentially Anonymous has been promoting about, I forget the kid's name, Mike something, that got killed. They've been, kind of picketing for him, and
Ferguson.
Yeah, and Ferguson, right? So, the KKK sent out threats that said, if you're gonna, support, this cause, then we're gonna, inflict physical harm upon you. Well, Anonymous didn't like the thought of, physical threats, so they said, well, this is our rebuttal. And since they're like, Sierra said they're hacktivists, they went after them on social media.
They got on there and invited Jews and blacks and everybody to join.
I'm so excited. It was like the best thing ever.
That's
Like,
funny.
I was so thrilled about that because, a lot of people, racism is a big issue in our country still. Um, a lot of people like to believe that if they don't see it, it doesn't exist.
Right.
But
that's
or if they
not
don't,
true.
they're not a part of it, it doesn't exist. But that's not true. I mean, like you said, you go down south and it is very alive and well. I mean, I drove cross country several times, and I'd get in some places, especially when I was traveling back from New York to LA with a black girlfriend of mine, and we stopped in some podunk, Missouri somewhere at Cracker Barrel of all places, and there was a table about 8 older, white guys looking like they were a bunch of, uh, KKK groupies, and
having their annual breakfast.
yeah, they watched us the entire time from the time that we actually arrived around the same time. They were gathering, and we got there. We walked in, and they walked in behind us. And we got sat. They asked to be sat. I heard the guy asked to be sat diagonally across from us, and then they stared at us the whole time. And then when we left, they got up to leave, and I was like, "These fuckers! If they try something,
trying to intimidate,
well, for one, she was black, and I'm even worse than a black person. I'm a race traitor, so I was like, I was like, if these fuckers try something, I will cut a motherfucker. They just don't know. Like, I got nothing to lose.
Right.
I'm balls to the wall. Like, they don't realize how crazy I am. So it's like I really thought that group of old guys were gonna like rise up or try something. I was like, I'm waiting. I'm ready. Let's do this. I got my razor blades and Vaseline ready. I'm good. Let's do this.
Well, yeah, back, what? I moved from Michigan to Colorado on a Greyhound bus with my friend who was black and her brother. So 2 black people and me. And so you got to think this was like in the mid 80s. So that was a long time ago, and it was like such a taboo that we got a lot of stares, or you could tell when we went to the grocery store that we were all roommates and buying groceries, together, and the stares and the responses you get. I'm just so glad it's not like that anymore, at least not here.
Right. Well,
it's less prevalent.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it still happens, but it's especially like my son's growing up in an era where the thought that somebody would discriminate against you because you're black is completely inconceivable to him, and I love that.
Right.
What he's more worried about is that people will discriminate against him because he's really smart or because he's tall or not
Right.
because of
His
skin color. And he doesn't even worry about like how big or small a person is. Like the he's size blind as well as color blind, and
Right.
I love that.
Me too. Well, now my little guy who's half white and half black has a sister who's black and black, and now he's going to have another sister who's white and white. So we love rainbow family at my house.
Well, my daughter is, mixed. Her father's black, but Charles and I were listening to like old music today. Like we like the oldies, like from the 50s and whatnot. Some for the 40s. We're old people. And we were talking about how that because I've always said that I thought I was born in the wrong era. Like there's something wrong with the world. Like I don't belong here. Like my mind.
All except for the racist thing,
Right.
you belong back in the 40s or 50s.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, he was like, I would really have loved to be born in this era, but it would have been really hard on me. And I was like, I know, me too, because, my first crush ever in life, I think I was in the 2nd grade when I stopped thinking that boys were icky. And my first crush was on a kid named Jamar. He was a black kid. Like, I've never had, like,
A white?
Oh, no, I mean, I've dated all colors of the rainbow, but I've never had like a filter. Like I've always liked black guys. I've always liked, Latin guys. Like I've always liked different ethnicities. Yeah, there's something about like I like the skin color, so even as early as elementary school, like I found interest in like a difference, and that wouldn't have been okay back in the day.
Well, now I was in high school. Okay, I graduated in 1980. Okay, so 78.
And I was born then.
I know. But anyway, okay, but here's an interesting story. I worked at a summer camp every year. And so there's the counselors from the boys' camps and the girls' camps, and it was through the Catholic organization. So I was friends with, a lot of people. So when our school went to play basketball, one of the competing all black schools.
Do you know about your silence toggle?
Yes, yeah, but I like to hear it bing right now. But anyway, one of the black schools was our arch rival. There was a friend that I worked at with the summer camp. So at halftime, we're over there talking and yipper yapping, we hugged, whatever. Well, I go to school Monday and I'm walking down the hall and I hear nigger lover.
What the fuck? It's 1980, motherfuckers.
Well, this was like 78.
Oh.
And there was this little group of these little guys who were like football jocks, but weren't basketball jocks. So they weren't playing that game, but they were at that game. And they seen me with my little friend, Michael Wiggum. And yeah. So
I would cut a motherfucker.
It was not a pretty sight.
Say that one more again. My uncle, like my biological family is not like racist. They, are, I guess, pretty average, like Irish people. Like, they have black friends, but it's not okay for races to mix.
Right.
Like, my mom's
most
side,
Irish people are like that. Mostly because we are the Negroes of the European society.
Exactly.
Irish
Right.
people.
Exactly.
That is true.
I'm Irish
It is
too.
super true because I'm Irish and Italian, and I am.
You fucking McWop.
I am. They called me a shamwop back in the day.
Shamwop?
A shamwop. And
That's funny.
I am the trash of all of the trash, like WAP and Irish. Like I am the lowest of the low. Okay, so like I just it kills me, but people are so ignorant that my uncle, he used to, when I was pregnant, he'd say all those, call me a lover, whatever. But then he started calling my daughter a niglet before she was born.
No.
And I was like, look here. It's just pure ignorance to me is what it is.
Yes,
it's like,
it is.
and he was, a miserable person anyways. And that's where a lot of it, I think, stem from is that, I think if you're a miserable individual, then you're just going to find something to be.
Everything's going to make you miserable, right?
Everything's going to upset you, And I was like, really? Like, you don't have anything better? Like, a niglet, really?
Sorry, I think it's funny, but I am terrible. Terrible.
To me, I am really hard to offend. Like, you got to get up pretty early in the morning to offend me. But
challenge accepted.
And I knew that he was just, saying it to try to get under my skin, which it never did. But it just showed me like the ignorance. I'm like, this is a baby for one. That's you've never seen, like, it's coming into the world. It didn't ask to be here.
Who its parentage was, yeah.
And, like, I was young when I got pregnant, and I didn't know about all the mixing of the races. Like, I got pregnant
about it.
I was 17, and I was like in college. I graduated high school when I was 16 and was off to college, and like I never realized that there was not supposed to be like a mix. Like who knew? Like,
who makes these
rules,
right?
Who decided that?
Right.
Especially since I didn't grow up with my biological family. I grew up in foster care, so I didn't know.
You were around Rainbow Family anyway. Yeah.
I didn't know. I was the only white girl in like a 4-block radius. Like I had to go a distance before I found other people like me. Like,
I'm an albino. No, honey, you're white.
Right. I didn't know for a really long time. No, I mean, to me, I just, I don't know. Racism to me is just ignorance.
Oh,
I
hate it with a passion.
So that's why to me it's funny that like Anonymous, has dealt with it. Because when I see these pictures of the KKK members, all I see is redneck.
Right.
Well,
right.
That's it.
And here's the thing that there's a branch of the KKK here in Las Vegas. It's not like it's just a southern thing.
I believe
There's KKK everywhere. They are everywhere. They're just really good at keeping their personal things inside now because
it's not
okay. Acceptable for them
it's not
be
the norm, right?
But what kills me is I always think that if you're so proud of who you are and your race and your lineage and whatnot, then why hide it? Like, why be like, oh, I can't talk about being part of the. If you're so proud,
You should.
you should be like.
And
"Ah."
I'm one of those extreme tolerance people where it's like we tolerate all religions, including those crazy Bible thumping people who will run around cutting your throat because you're not a Christian also.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know, and I feel the same way about haters. Like, if you're going to hate white people, be proud that you hate white people. If you're going to hate black people, be proud that you hate black people. And you know what?
Say it loud, say it proud.
And you know what? We shouldn't be telling them it's wrong to think that way. We should be telling them it's wrong to hang black people from trees. It is not wrong to think that they are lesser people. That's just you being an idiot, and you're allowed to be an idiot because that's the great country that we live in.
It's true. I mean, and that's the thing is you're allowed to be
An idiot.
It is true. You are allowed to be as dumb as you want to be.
That's right.
I think it's like in our First Amendment.
Yeah, basically our First Amendment says, "Thou shalt be as ignorant as thou want to be." Like
Right.
that's be an asshole.
And you can say,
And then the Second Amendment allows you to say whatever the
Right.
fuck it is you want to say.
like, it's just it's built in our Constitution essentially that you can be as dumb as you want, and
That's
it's
right.
okay. You can be.
We support your right to be an ignorant motherfucker.
Yeah. And own a gun to boot. You can
Whoa, that's like a deadly combination,
be
right?
right.
No. I think more ignorant people should own guns because these are the assholes that shoot themselves while cleaning it.
True story.
You don't ever hear about a good, upstanding, smart individual who owns a gun shooting themselves while they clean it. It's only the red hat. It is only the redneck, white cap wearing, head shaved motherfuckers. I shot myself while I was cleaning my gun. Ignorant motherfucker.
Right?
So speaking of the N-word, Callie Guy and I watched Django Unchained for the first time last night, and at the end of the movie, we were really intrigued as how many times did they drop the N-bomb on that
Oh my
movie?
God, it's atrocious.
We looked it up. Somebody actually
Counted
counted
it?
113.
Oh, I would hate
And when you
that.
consider that it's 2 hours and 45 minutes long, so it's like 180 some odd minutes long, that's like almost one N-word a minute being dropped. I was like, their whole conversation was like, nigga, 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 nigga,
horrible.
nigga, please.
I hate it.
I
know they say it to themselves, but
It was, no, it was white people saying it too, because
Oh,
Django
okay. I
Unchained,
didn't
have you
watch
ever
it.
seen it?
No.
Super racist.
It's about racism, but it's about
Back in the day.
it's about racism during the slave times,
okay.
and about this little German doctor who's like, I've never understood slavery or racism, but I bought you and I'm going to free you and I need you to help me with this. And it's absolutely, it's within 5 minutes, you know, it's a Quentin Tarantino flick because the
Right.
first time a guy gets shot, it's like blood splattered into the next county.
Right. True story.
It's like, I stabbed you and now there's geysers of blood spouting from your body.
And I don't like Quentin Tarantino that much, so
I love Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino is the black man's white man.
He
like, black people love him, and I don't understand why. Because anytime he can drop the N-bomb, he will personally. And all the black people are just like, oh, that's all right. He's a homie. It's okay. And it's hilarious. This movie was, in turn, hilarious. And then at other times, I'm just like, it's cringeworthy. My favorite scene is when there's a group of guys in white hoods going to try to blow up the German doctor and his black bounty hunter. And they're complaining that the eye holes in their white hoods weren't cut properly, and so they're all bitching about this one dude's wife and how she can't sew worth a shit. And well, what about like this time? Like, we appreciate the effort. We ain't gonna name names. They weren't done the way they should have been done. But let's say we go no hoods this time, and we do it right next time with the hoods. It is hilarious. It's like watching
It
a board
is
meeting with the
kind of-
KKK. Absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I was amazed. Like, just the gratuitous use of the N-word between black people and white and black people and everyone else, and
I've always hated that word.
the explosions.
And my grandmother's from Kentucky, so every time you go down to Kentucky, you know, the Negro woman, the nigger woman, she come and clean my house once a week. I have her come down. She's a real nice nigger woman.
Well,
And I would just cringe, you know. I
Yeah.
hated it.
I've always wondered which is more. not that I'm afraid to ask black people, but there's always so many more important things to be talking about with black people than, which word do you prefer, nigger or negro? But of the black people I know, whenever they hear the word colored or negro, they get way more offended
Right.
than when they hear the word
and
nigger.
I'm so like, why call them anything? They're just people.
Well, that's
know?
my issue. Like, I posted something on my Facebook the other day because it was Piers, what's his name?
Morgan?
Pierce Morgan.
Piers Morgan said that the only way that we're going to ever eradicate the N-word is if everyone stops using it. Like,
including
black people,
right.
including everybody that's not white. Because white people aren't really allowed to use it at all. Everybody else can pretty much get away with it. But everybody has to stop using it. Like, that's the only way. And John Legend had a big uproar about him saying that. Like, it was stupid for him to say that, and how dare you think that you can comment on, essentially, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but essentially it's like, how dare you think that you could comment on black culture, you white man, and
they're like, you can't be calling us no N-word and blah, 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 you cracker ass motherfucker.
Right.
Like, thanks.
Seriously, why? There are a lot of people in the black community that feel like that, like the white people invade on their space, and I don't think that Pierce Morgan meant it at all to like invade on somebody's space, but as like a positive statement.
Well, it was just,
you know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of people,
because white people aren't supposed to have an opinion about black culture. It's just,
which is crazy.
Well, but why is there such thing as a black culture then? The whole idea that black people and white people are separated is propagated more by black people than I think it is by white people.
It really is, actually.
Because they're like, because black girls
to
get
say.
super mad when black guys date white girls.
Wait a minute, I asked,
And they're like, don't you be bringing a white girl into my house. We're like, you sound just like my grandmother.
well, let me ask you a
Right.
question.
Only the other way around, Oreo cookie.
I worked with some girls, and I asked one of the black girls, very attractive black girl, I said, why do you guys get so mad when us white girls date black guys? And she says, because you guys take all the good ones.
Well,
well, and I've heard that too, because some of my, like, since I was, 6 best friends are black girls, and I've had these same conversations with them, because a lot of my friends that are black girls date white guys.
mm-hmm.
But it's essentially, that's what it is. They think that the better, more educated,
Black
better,
man will
yeah,
go to a
like
white woman.
more like respectful black men will prefer white girls. And
There's an unfortunate reason for that.
well, it is, and it's all about attitude. Like, black women are very strong, and like, I have a lot of respect for black women because they really literally don't take no shit. But guys don't always want to argue. Like, they don't always want to have lots of drama and
Right.
like,
Mhm.
nagging and
Some
whatnot.
of them thrive on it, but some don't.
Right. Some of them don't need to have day-long conversations about how the weed dealer at the corner, got.
Or just always like everything's in a conflict.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And I know a lot of white people that are like that too. Like,
yeah, me too.
can't live without drama. But thank you. I'm trying to fix it. It was making me crazy.
Oh, look.
How clever you are.
That's why she's the smart one of the
I know.
bunch, huh?
Right?
Now I'm blowing everybody's ears out.
Sorry, guys.
We're trying to fix Dez's microphone.
What the fuck did you do?
I was trying to move it to my mouth so I could
There we go.
talk into this one.
Oh, there we go. Sierra's got her all fixed up down here. Dez is still a little bit of a rookie up in here. We'll give you some rookie clearance, girl. I didn't realize all that moved.
Excellent.
and
Thank you.
shit.
See,
I ain't
look at
gonna
that.
try to
So
be
much
messing
better.
with
The
it.
best.
There you go.
So, now I even forgot what I was saying. But
Negroes.
yes.
Black women.
Black women.
Attitude.
But it is, there's a lot of, big attitude, but I think that I kind of equated it like, because I love animals, and I work with animals a lot, and I know that this is going to sound horrible. I'm probably going to get hate mail after this, but dogs that are smaller or injured, like, the one I have, are more apt to lash out, bark, like have loud, experiences because they feel like they need to protect themselves, right? So I think it's in our culture today, and especially in the American culture, there's no sense our lack of morals in our country and our lack of like family values, nobody feels secure like in who they are. There's a lot of super insecurities in our culture. Not only about like how we look or our education or whatever, but also in our family structure. And a lot of people feel like they're always going to be let down. They're always, they are always going to have to depend on themselves. And I think that in the Black community, that's very prevalent. And I think that
Black women especially have had to do that.
Right.
Though.
And I think that because of that, they build up this very tough exterior wall that's super hard to penetrate, and it makes it hard to have relationships.
Right.
And that's, I think, more the issue than the white girls always taking the black men, is that in society, in our home lives, there's no security. People don't feel loved and secure, like, and taken care of like they used to.
Yeah, it's no longer okay to be, the quiet one who just sits back and, it's no longer okay to be the smart one.
Right.
You got to be the tough one.
Well, you got to look out for yourself because no one else is looking out for you.
Well, here's the deal.
Yeah, there's no more family continuity. There's
one of the only countries that have a foster care system. Like, other countries believe that if there's a family problem, it's dealt with in the family. If there's a problem with, parents, they go to the aunt's house or the grandparents' house. Like, it's dealt with within the family. Like,
yeah, and these days you get grandparents and aunts and uncles who be like, well, I'm not taking their kids.
Right.
They're not my responsibility. Right. And it's like,
there's parents that can't even tell their children that they love them. Or like,
oh, yeah.
There's so much damage in our country, and there's such a lack of, family values. I mean, it truly is. It's sad. Our family values, it's a joke. And even, that's one thing that kills me about politicians. Everybody preaches about fucking family values and our morality and shit like that. We have no family values. We have no morality in our country.
No, it's this ridiculous system. So in almost every other industrialized nation, if your family members, like mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, whatever, get really old and can't take care of themselves, you move them in with you and you take care of them. But in our society, when we do that, it becomes, oh, well, what about me? I don't get enough me time. And
I don't get to go out and party anymore.
Right, and I can't, do the things I need to do, and now I need to support them as well, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well
let's
that's
send them
kind
to
of the
home.
Point of having a family is,
Yeah, your mother took care of you all those years. You can't take care of her.
Right. Here in America, we've lost our sense of tribe, and that's what it is that
absolutely.
We've totally lost our sense of tribe. We got 2 minutes.
Oh, is that what that is, the countdown? See, I never see that screen up there.
It's new.
We've covered a gamut of racial family issues.
Barfing.
Right?
The best things to eat so you don't throw up.
While you're taking ecstasy.
Right.
It's been quite an educational episode.
Anal sex.
Not for me.
Not for me either.
I like to poop correctly.
Yeah, me too.
How is that going, by the way?
Finally, I'm pooping well. I'm back to pooping as normal.
You weren't pooping normally?
No, I was super constipated. I hadn't pooped.
And she's very worried about it.
I was very worried about it because I'm not a person who gets constipated. If I get constipated, there's something wrong. Even throughout my pregnancy, the doctors are like, oh, you're going to get constipated, you're going to get hemorrhoids. And I'm like, I don't think you know me. I poop. You could set your clock to my pooper. Like
once or twice a day?
3.
What?
Wow.
I usually poop once after every meal.
Pooping.
That's healthy. That's what your body should be doing. You should be shedding.
Was that the same as prior to gallbladder surgery?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Although since gallbladder surgery, I know that it is exactly 1 hour after I eat a very heavy, greasy meal, I need to be near a bathroom. I cannot end up at one of those stores where it's like, no public restroom, where I'm shitting on the floor. Just so you know. I've actually used that and it works. If you tell them I'm going to shit myself, they'll let you
Also,
use
if you
their
tell them
bathroom.
you're pregnant,
they
can't deny a pregnant woman the
They look at me
facilities.
and laugh. I'm like kind of old to be pregnant.
Whatever you can say. I'm like, prove that I'm not.
Yeah,
okay?
You're right.
Prove that I'm not
labor!
pregnant.
I'm going into labor now.
I can look pregnant better than anybody.
Yeah, it doesn't take much for me to look pregnant. I just need an empire waisted
Well,
shirt.
I have a small
Yeah,
upper
me too,
torso,
here.
and then I can, I already have a belly, but I can really push it out there and make it hard and solid. I'll be like, prove I'm not pregnant. I dare you. The only way you're
Suddenly
gonna
they
prove I'm
come
not
out with a
sonogram.
sonogram.
The only way they're gonna prove it that I'm not pregnant is with a sonogram.
Yeah. I listen to your belly. I see you hear nothing. It's because it's sleeping, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's not kicking right now.
It's gonna kick you in the face.
All right. Well, we're going to take a little break. You're going to listen to our friends here at the station. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about something just as racially fun as the word N. The Niger word. We'll be right back.
What can I do? What can I do to try to save the day? What can I say? What